Prince Harry has regrets and wants to reset his relationship with the royal family and the British people. Prince Harry regrets some of his actions since Megxit, and his trip to Britain was about resetting his relationship with his family and the British people, according to an insider. The Duke of Sussex, 40, is in Ukraine today after 4 days of successful engagements in London and Nottingham, as well as a reconciliation meeting with King Charles for the first time in 19 months. A royal source has told the Daily Mail that the past week could be the start of Harry, Meghan, and their 2 children being part of a functioning wider family again. The king is said to be keen to rebuild his relationship with his son and wants to spend time with his grandchildren Archie and Lilibet, who he has not seen for 3 years. It's become clear that Harry now regrets some of his actions. He wants to reset his relationship with his family and with the people of the UK. An insider has said, "It's hard to see him ever coming back to live in Britain, but this may be the start of something that at least allows him to be a functioning wider family again." It came after Prince Harry's spokesman said he loved being back in the UK and catching up with his good causes and friends. In May, after losing his High Court battle with the Home Office, Harry himself told the BBC that he would love a reconciliation with the royal family, adding, "There's no point continuing to fight anymore. Life is precious." The king reportedly begged his warring sons not to make his final years a misery during an anguishing meeting at Windsor Castle in 2023. But while Charles engaged with his son this week, the Prince of Wales refused despite being just a few miles apart at one point. Harry is in Kiev as part of his work for the Invictus Games and to support Ukraine's tens of thousands of injured veterans. The Duke of Sussex flew to Poland and then caught a train to the Ukrainian capital, arriving on Friday morning. It is his first visit to Kiev, which was hit by Russian cruise missiles just 2 days ago. On the same night, numerous attack drones from Russia violated Polish airspace and was shot down. "I had to check with my wife and the British government to make sure it was okay," he admitted today. "We cannot stop the war, but what we can do is do everything we can to help the recovery process," he said. "We can continue to humanize the people involved in this war and what they are going through. We have to keep it in the forefront of people's minds. I hope this trip will help to bring it home to people because it's easy to become desensitized to what has been going on." During the Kiev trip, he will head to the National Museum of the History of Ukraine in the Second World War, meet hundreds of veterans, and also sit down with the Ukrainian Prime Minister, Yulia Sviridenko. Prince Harry's reconciliation meeting with his father this week is viewed as a first step towards his family returning to the UK for a visit next year. The summit over tea at Clarence's house last night could pave the way for Archie and Lilibet to visit their grandfather for the first time in more than 3 years. The king wants to be a grandfather to his grandchildren, so that's an important pull. He was so pleased when they came over for Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee, and he was able to spend some time with them, the same royal source told the Daily Mail. But whether Meghan Markle will want to come with them remains another matter, the insider has said. Meghan hasn't returned to the UK since the Queen's death in September 2022. Charles last saw Archie and Lilibet in June 2022, when Harry and Meghan returned for Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. He has only met Lilibet once and Archie a handful of times. Harry's taxpayer-funded security was reduced after he and Meghan quit royal duties, sparking his legal battle with the Home Office, but the Sussexes would likely receive armed bodyguards when visiting the king. There are all sorts of obstacles to that happening again because of Harry's insistence that they have guaranteed armed police protection. But maybe there is a way of getting them over to Balmoral or Sandringham next year or another royal residence where they are within the security perimeter, the insider said. Prince Harry loved being back in the UK and catching up with old friends this week, his aide revealed, concluding his 4-day trip with an event to highlight the Diana Award. Yesterday, a spokesman for the Duke of Sussex suggested he saw it as a success. On Wednesday night, the prodigal prince managed to secure himself a 54-minute meeting with his father, King Charles, the first in 19 months. But his choice of final engagement, a charity both he and his estranged brother, Prince William, had been involved with over the years, only served to emphasize the gulf that remained between them. Tessie Oho, chief executive of the Diana Award, indicated she didn't expect a joint engagement from them anytime soon, saying, "You know what? People are fascinated about seeing them together. I've had the pleasure of working alongside them for 25 years, and they've always done things separately. The one time we brought them together was the 20th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. Harry," she said, "has been having meetings on a monthly basis over Zoom with Diana Award staff and has been to events in America. It was one of 5 events packed into what was dubbed a pseudo-royal tour for the prince, and one clearly aimed at trying to reset his relationship with the British people. The icing on the cake, however, was being driven into Clarence's house for an almost hour-long meeting with his father. While those in royal circles say it was not a reunion per se, it is being considered a positive step forward. There is no suggestion of any such thawing in relations with his brother, who had borne the brunt of many of Harry's most vicious attacks on his family in recent years. It is not clear whether he has any plans to return to Britain soon. However, his spokesman strongly suggested he was buoyed by how well he felt this one had gone, saying, "His obviously loved being back in the UK, catching up with old friends, and just generally being able to support the incredible causes that mean so much to him." Harry spent around an hour yesterday at what appeared to be a specially created event for him, talking to young people about mental health and social action. In an impromptu speech, he spoke about how young people can feel isolated if lost and separated from a group. Harry also gave a warm hug to his father's former press secretary Colleen Harris, who worked for Charles when he was a Prince of Wales, from 1998 until 2003. She is now a trustee of the King's Charitable Fund. Afterwards, the Duke headed straight to the airport, and now it has emerged